want to switch gears into another hot topic, which is productivity and focus. We are the most distracted society because I think of iPhones for sure. What tips do you have to help somebody focus in the workplace and get more done? Because I think so many people we could survey would say, I just have such a hard time concentrating. I'm constantly distracted, pulled in different directions. How do we counterbalance what the iPhones, I believe, and Samsungs and the notifications are doing to our brains? How do we become more productive at work? Because as you said at the start of this conversation, we're very much a performance-based work culture now.
Yeah.
So putting in the 8-hour day is no longer enough. How can we deliver on what is expected of us?
That's a good question, and one that it's taken me a long time to learn. Like my report cards when I was a kid was easily distracted and distracts others. And so I've really struggled with that. I mean, the 101 things are to obviously only check emails at certain times, turn off those notifications. And also, I think the first thing is to be aware of your own working style. That's number one. Are you better in the mornings? Are you better at nights? And then chunk up your diary appropriately and do it into, I mean, different productivity experts have different tips around this. Sometimes it's 60 minutes, sometimes it's 90, sometimes it's 20. Find what works for you. But take different chunks of time in your diary where the phone's off, your email alerts are off, and you're dedicated to a function, and just see how much work you can punch out in that time. I know I do that myself with, you know, I'll put that hour aside and I'll go, I'm not going to necessarily solve the problem or finish that huge piece of content that I want to do, but I'm just going to do my best for that 60 minutes. And what tends to happen is I'll just get into the flow, and it's something that I've been putting off, it'll actually happen.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's amazing what you can get done in that 60 minutes. My working chunk is 20 minutes. I can write an article in 20 minutes, go on Facebook in 20 minutes easily. Just kidding. Hey, so Kylie, just a few more questions for you. Self-discipline, because even blocking email out is self-discipline, getting up early. Do you have any tips around self-discipline and cultivating it?
That's a really good point. I think it's about cultivating it. I think some people, and I have people say this to me, they're like, you're so lucky that you've got the motivation to get up and go to the gym. You're so lucky you get to do that. I'm like, it's not luck. I made that happen, you know.
How?
No, but I think it's about that discipline. It is a habit. Or is it 28 days to form a new neural pathway in your brain to actually establish that habit? So I think it's about, firstly, that self-awareness. It's about the commitment to the task, and then you keep doing it. 28 days to form the new neural pathway, and then it's like a groove in a record. So you get that loop happening, and then you keep doing that loop. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper and more ingrained. So I know myself, if I set my alarm, 5 o'clock to get up and go to the gym, I just wake up and it just happens. I don't lie there and think, should I, shouldn't I?
Did you used to?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. There were times where, and it's the same with any other task or any other routine. There'll be the times initially where I kind of go, do I want to do this, and question that. But once you do it enough times, it becomes a habit, and it works. So I suppose it's about identifying what shifts you want to make in your own life, whether it be exercise or whatever, and then putting a plan in place and committing to it for at least 28 days. But to your point before, cultivating, I think, is the big part, because you need to have the environment right to do it. Like, you don't want to say, okay, well, I'm going to start exercising, so in the middle of winter, I'm going to set my alarm at 5 o'clock every day and expect it to happen. That's a bit hard.
That's what I've been doing.
How about you start maybe for once a week, or if it's really cold, or make it more achievable to begin with, and then you can
8 a.m.
and then you can step it up. It's like when a lot of people do your diets or exercise, they go, I'm just going to start training every day, and they've gone from 0. Well, how about you start training 20% more every week, and then build up to it? Because if you make it too arduous a task right up front, it's not going to happen. So I suppose it's about building up to it.
Thank you for that reminder, because I absolutely have been setting my alarm for 5 and I've not been getting it. Maybe I'll start with 6 or, I said, 8 a.m.
Maybe once a week, and then maybe the next week twice a week, and then before you do it, you'll be doing marathons.
Yeah, that'd be great.